The 2008 financial collapse, followed by the bank bailouts and a cycle of austerity, weakened public confidence in governments and institutions. In reaction to this widespread problem of legitimacy, Bitcoin was created. More than 10 years later, the epidemic's economic toll has led to another systemic collapse. Bitcoin is becoming more and more liked as a haven asset as rising inflation is being caused by the Federal Reserve's unending money printing. So in this video we will discuss about Bitcoin is a humanistic alternative to technological salvation. Before we begin, subscribe to our channel now for more. The top international organizations have stepped forward to restart the entire system when the old economy implodes. The World Economic Forum, WEF, a major organization, is getting ready to introduce central bank digital currencies under the theme of the Great Reset, CBDCs. The CEO of the Bank for International Settlements, Augustin Carstens, describes CBDCs as programmable money that grants issuers complete control over all transactions. Issuers can impose restrictions on what regular people can buy with their money by using these powers. Adam Buck, a pioneer in cryptography, tweeted in response to central banks developing their own digital currencies. Currently, two distinct digital currencies with disparate features, Bitcoin and CBDC, are vying for widespread adoption. This competition's core concept covers many worldviews. The outcome of this race will decide how humanity develops in the future. The financial catastrophe of 2008 served as the catalyst for a legitimacy crisis that ultimately led to the demise of Western liberal democracy. The locus of authority in our society started to change as a result. A humanistic perspective served as the foundation for the democratic ideal that gave rise to the United States of America. In the past, the Holy Scripture and the gods were considered to be infallible. People sought outside themselves for solutions. For guidance, they looked to religion, the Bible, and the popes. The transition to democracy brought about a shift in values. He gave power to people, putting the focus on the person. People who searched outside of themselves for behavioral standards started to rely on their own experiences. Israeli public philosopher and historian Yuval Noah Harari explains how a threat to the humanist worldview is currently developing from labs and research departments in locations like Silicon Valley during this democratic crisis. Harari, a key advisor to Klaus Schwab, CEO of the World Economic Forum, WEF, highlights how science is undermining the humanist narrative. He says that freedom is merely another myth created by mankind. According to experts, there is no such thing as free choice. He says that there is no justification for considering emotions to have the highest level of authority in the world and characterizes them as biochemical processes of computation. Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, and Silicon Valley tech employees all praised and cheered Harari's explanation of how power is now moving away from people in the dying days of modern democracy. This time, he claims that algorithms and data in the Amazon and other large internet firms' clouds, not some gods above the clouds, govern human destiny. He talks about a new revolution happening in response to this change in power. The techno-religion, which promotes the idea that technology can save us, is in charge of it. In this data-religion, he continues, data and information become the highest source of authority and meaning in the world. It leads us to feel that technology is more in tune with who we are than we are. Don't listen to gut instinct or intuition, he advises us. Simply access the data. Harari, who represents this newest branch of techno-religion, sees a time when people are extinct. It predicts that people like you and me will vanish and that whole new kinds of entities or beings will dominate Earth. According to Harari, under the new rule of the algorithms, people are no longer regarded as spiritual beings but rather as hackable animals. Some predicted the impending machine domination of the globe and the impending extinction of mankind. One of the most well-known cyberpunks and WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange was aware of this trend from the start. He urged anyone who possessed the necessary technological skills to deploy robust cryptography as a non-lethal weapon to defend individual freedom. Assange forewarned us, the conflict between humans controlling machines and machines controlling humans is the destiny of humanity. A development in computer science has given us an alternative picture of humanity's future, which master planners are attempting to use CBDCs to advance. In its 14 years of existence, Bitcoin has helped us really embody humanistic principles and offered a solution to the dilemma facing Western liberal democracy. The representative democracy system has a flaw from the start. Satoshi Nakamoto, the anonymous person who created Bitcoin, understood that this system was insufficient on its own to guarantee the value of freedom and the position of individuals as the system's highest authority. A favorable economic system has been developed by those who have obtained control over the creation of money. Democracy became a system of control as a result of the concentration of economic power in a small number of hands. The populace was subjected to the manipulation of their emotions with the aid of sophisticated persuasive techniques, through the employment of propaganda and public relations under the pretext of democracy. Bitcoin, the holy grail of cypherpunks, made economic freedom feasible by undermining the monopoly of money. For the first time in history, this technology establishes the source of legitimacy in people, following the maxim "don't trust, verify." Authority no longer resides in the technological superpowers clouds, but rather in the human heart. The invention of Bitcoin facilitated the emergence of creativity and freedom of expression, sparking a renaissance in the arts. He is currently igniting a fresh humanist revolution. Before the Renaissance, many believed that divine forces had shaped history. This perspective shifted with the arrival of the Renaissance, which had its start in Italy in the 14th century. The human being was seen as the core of all that exists. It is believed that man actively participates in directing the lives of the gods as a co-creator of them. The Bitcoin Renaissance 2.0 develops sovereign individuals, emphasizing the individual in the same way that the Renaissance did, allowing people to genuinely come to life. People of diverse backgrounds and nationalities started to agree with the humane principles that underpin Bitcoin. They now connect through gatherings and conferences. They start to share ideals and speak the same language. They adopted Bitcoins, transcending their cultural differences. They are human beings who start to assert the power of the human imagination as the source of authority. As a result, a humanist movement is already developing, one powerful enough to oppose the technological revolution. Machine intelligence worshippers promise us salvation, but in order to get it, we must once more rely on an external authority, this time, external algorithms. Bitcoin offers an alternative proof of work rescue paradigm that frees us from the necessity for external authority. Each of us can engage in the process of independently validating our own truth by any voluntary engagement in the network of consensus. Bitcoin, a pro-human technology, stimulates in every way to create a new world of humanism as a road of technical salvation pushes civilization into the post-human era. This second Bitcoin revolution has its epicenter in El Salvador, the nation that legalized the cryptocurrency for the first time. They set the example. President Nayib Bukele started to oppose central banks and their financial imperialism using Bitcoin as a tool. Bukele is working to expand Bitcoin acceptance in order to create a route to self-determination, while the leaders of the G7 nations are attempting to introduce a centrally managed digital slave money. This is it for today's video. Do share your views with us in the comments and subscribe to our channel for more. Thanks for watching.